everybody, welcome to episode 5 of our character builder. Today we are going to talk about the characters that we've made for episode 5. So let's start with going over the restrictions and character guidelines I gave. So for this episode, we rolled stats, which if you did not see those are going to be at the end of the second shot happy hour for rolling the stats. Almost everyone rolled pretty well. One person did not as much. I'm sure they'll talk about it. So after rolling stats, I told them to make level 9 characters. They could be any race, but the only restriction was they had to be a fighter. I did allow multi-classing, just that the fighter had to be the highest number level class than anything else. I don't know if anyone took advantage of it, but we'll find out here soon. For magic items, based on Xanathar's Guide to Everything, I told everyone to take 2 uncommon major items, 1 rare minor magic item, 3 uncommon minor magic items, and 6 common minor magic items. That is what we did for character creation. Now for the setup. Let's do character build first, because they didn't know what they were walking into before they knew the situation. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to go with my first one here. Morgrim, the Invisible Hand, Thunu Kalathi.
The new Goliath.
Okay, yes. All right, Sam, tell us what you got.
Yes, hello everybody. I'm Sam. I will be playing Morgrim this episode of the One Shot Wonders. He is a level 9 Psy Warrior who was playtest for quite a bit and then introduced in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Are we just explaining like why we chose this class, or just more just
whatever you want?
Cool. Okay. If you have 50 minutes, tune in. I'm kidding. Everyone's just gonna leave. Yeah, basically, I really like the Psy Warrior and stuff. That and the Soul Knife Rogue were really cool options for and where the Soul Knife Rogue is very much kind of like telepathy and like very much made for like the sneakiness, and I love. Morgrim is basically the closest thing to like a D&D 5e Jedi or Sith that you can play, so I was really, really pumped to play this. So he is a dual wielder. He is going to be wielding, for magic items, he has a Moon Touch Greatsword, and he has a weapon called Shatter Spike.
Greatsword or longsword? Because I'm looking at a longsword.
They are long swords because one of my feats is the dual wielder feat, allowing me to use not light items for dual wielding.
Okay, you said greatsword, but you meant longsword.
I did say great. Oh, I did. I'm used to hearing moonlit greatsword. My apologies. Okay. But yes, so 2 long swords. For other items, I have for my rare, I have the Necklace of Fireballs, just because I know one of our characters, Chuck, likes to always say, oh, just throw a level 9 fireball at him, as a joke. This time I'd be able to. So, if he does say it, it could come up. And then other than that, I have some healing potions. I have some interesting uncommon items. I got some mithril plate armor and some other ones that kind of like match up together. When I rolled my stats, I definitely wasn't the happiest, but I decided, screw it. Wait, are we allowed to swear in this one? I'm not sure.
Wait.
Fuck it. Wait.
No. I'll edit that. Don't worry, you're good.
Too soon. I was able to get together some really cool magic items and really found that there were a lot of cool, uncommon minor items you can get that can make for some interesting forms of play. So hopefully that plays into the character's personality as we play. And yeah, I just took full 9 levels in Fighter. It's a class I've been wanting to play out, and I look forward to playing it.
Awesome. So have you come up with any kind of background on your character?
Oh, background, my character. Well, he's been kind of going with this party and stuff, and he's kind of, well, he's not the wisest or the most chattiest of them. He can get a little bit hot-headed. But he does have a good camaraderie with the group around him and stuff, and he very much, despite being this big brooding 8.5, 9 foot tall Goliath, he has these really small set of spectacles that kind of pinch his nose, and he is quite the bookworm, and he likes sit down with a nice book between slashing people up with his dual wielding prowess and his telekinetic abilities.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's next check out Blaze Mild Roar.
All right, I'm going to be playing Blaze Mild Roar. He's gonna be a cavalier fighter, and they're supposed to be like mounted combatants, but I kind of want to play him more as like a tank-esque character. We kind of all did different subclasses, and initially I kind of wanted to do Battle Master because I thought that'd be interesting to do. But then I was looking at the other ones, and this one's had a lot of really good later on abilities and levels that I thought would be interesting to use, and I feel like this is not a usually seen as much subclass in the fighters, so I decided to give it a shot. For my magic items, for my rare, I ended up taking the Potion of Fire Giant Strength. For my uncommon, my 2 major, or whatever it was, I ended up taking Winged Boots, and I chose the Cloak of Protection. And for the boost to AC, I have a Immovable Rod. The Lantern of Revealing will be fun to use, and then I got a couple of throwaway items. Like
So that one I'm not too familiar with. Tell me about this Lantern of Revealing.
All right, so it basically is it's kind of like a thermal lantern in a way, because it can reveal invisible creatures and objects in the light of it, like for up to 6 hours, and it can also so it, as well as being a lantern, it does that.
I like how you mimed it too. The lantern's like a lantern.
You know,
it's like a lantern.
As one holds a lantern.
Yeah, just like it's a lantern.
And then the Tankard of Sobriety, and then this Pipe of Smoke Monsters is kind of funny. You smoke out of it, and then a little monster comes up.
Wait, you said you have the Tankard of Sobriety? What is that?
Yeah. So it's got a little face on it, but anything you drink out of it, you can pour anything into it, but you can't become inebriated from it.
Ah, that is funny. I have the... It's actually funny you say that. I'm sorry to interrupt. I have the Tankard of Plenty. So basically, I can just make beer and like 3 pints of ale just appear.
All right, well, apparently I need to add some kind of drinking aspect to our next adventure here.
Oh, it's just
All right,
there's a lot of really funny items in this game.
How about any background you've come up with for him?
He was just a soldier. He ended up rising through his ranks just through training and his studying and his love for the battlefield. Ended up leading his brigade in some pretty major battles. After the battles ended, he decided to go off in search of making a name for himself beyond just being in the war. So he ended up finding this group that seems to be finding some nobler causes to go after, and that's where he sees himself right now.
All right. Next, Ukatar Patoa.
Yeah, Uktar scored big on rolling stats.
That's the first thing.
91, right?
Yeah.
92 or something. He killed it.
Insane.
Yeah, so he come out with 20, 14, 20, 18, 14, and 11.
I like how he's the only one who talked about the stats he rolled so far.
Yeah, well, that was...
Interesting.
You would too if you rolled that good.
I wouldn't have. It's called being humble.
Yeah,
Okay.
which you know nothing about because you ain't read in a book. Anyway, Uktar is an Eldritch Knight. Wanted to stick with the pure fighter aspect of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And but you know, since he's a pretty sharp guy, he picked up a little bit of magic along the way, and so that's how he became an Eldritch Knight.
Okay.
His nickname is the Sock. He's at a really unfortunate, embarrassing moment in his teen years, and he got that nickname. And you know, most guys would hide from that, but he embraced it because he's got a good sense of humor. And so, Uktar the Sock Patoa. He's a big dude. For his magic items, he picked adamantine plate to eliminate critical hits and a maul of warning. So he runs around with a big old hammer smashing things and can't get surprised because his hammer lets him know if something needs to be smashed.
Okay.
We also have to go ahead and take a blowgun just in case we get in a situation where we need a ranged attack.
That worked so well in our last adventure, so
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what made it. That's what made me think about it. I mean, you know, a dagger isn't really going to be something I'll use, so you know, take a blowgun. And
And I just add in here something to show our players So last time we had the blowgun and it just did a little bit of damage. But I would encourage you to go in and utilize a blowgun not necessarily as just a little bit of range damage, but as a poison delivery system. So if you use one of your items to get poison...
Yeah, you have to use up a potion slot to get poison. And, I got the compulsory healing potion, right, but I really wanted that potion of invulnerability. Because that gives me a few rounds where I can't really be hurt that much.
Right. Okay.
So we went with that.
So I'm curious, and with your background, what do you tell the kids that how you got your nickname?
Well, it doesn't come up a whole lot, but I give them a story about how I was delivered to my father in a midwinter festival fireplace stocking.
Okay.
And so they called me the Sock because of that.
All right. Perfect.
Cool. Next. Very cool.
All right. Anything else, Uktar?
Not too much, except for, I kind of cheated just a little bit in this round. I generally try to create what I would deem as realistic characters. Guys have a career and they get spells that would help them in their day-to-day activities and stuff like that. But I went off the rails with this guy since he rolled such good stats, and I just made him a killing machine, and we went all offense.
All right.
For the most part.
I feel like that kind of goes in hand though with a fighter, so I feel like you're still good.
Yeah. The only thing, we did grab Kinetic Jaunt.
That one I'm looking forward to seeing. That was added in Strixhaven's Curriculum of Chaos, and it's a pretty cool spell.
Yep.
Yeah, I added. That's really the only spell I got that's not full-on offensive.
Cool. All right. Last but not least, Cerro the Silent Wolf.
That's actually a pretty awesome name.
Thanks. So, Cerro is a human fighter, Battlemaster. I picked Battlemaster because I had played this character before, and I really liked it, and I haven't been able to play him in like a year, Beau.
Yeah, that was a long time ago since we did Chuck's one shot.
He was really fun to play, so I want to play him again. For his items, I picked Great Sword of Warning, so he's just gonna be two-handing that, no shield. Mithril Plate to get rid of that stealth debuff. A Potion of Heroism, some Potions of Greater Healing, some Vials of Acid, and some Flasks of Holy Water.
But did you learn from the last time you played him and actually get something with a ranged attack?
No.
So we're back to throwing rocks again.
Yeah, I feel like there's not a lot of range capability, except for Chuck. There's not a lot of range capability here. It's gonna be fun to see how we get around that.
He's just a simple guy. He doesn't need that, especially since he's in a group now. No, he's just there to help out.
It's okay, all right. Please. I'll force throw you or something.
How about any background on him?
He got his name from being a mercenary, and then just doing regular jobs, nothing too crazy, just protecting villages and towns from smaller threats. And he got bored of that life and wanted to actually become some type of hero. So he joined up with these guys and tried to make a name for himself. But his name comes from not talking too much.
All right, that should be easy for RP.
Stealth ability.
So there's our characters. So let's brainstorm a little bit on our setup, because the setup for episode 5 is that you are all adventurers that have at least done one job together, more likely a few, for a certain benefactor. And your benefactor is a wizard who's eccentric, not evil in any way. More think Doc Brown type, just kind of out there, has a laboratory, sends adventurers off to go get rare items or rare ingredients for his experiments. So you have done a few jobs for this wizard, and you are returning from your latest job, where the reward is that he has promised you the use of a wish spell upon returning with a particular item. So, I would like us to brainstorm a little bit on maybe what job you were coming back from, what item it was that was requested based on the items that you have in your inventory, and just kind of build the setup for this adventure here. So any thoughts from anybody? Like, who's got an item that a wizard would maybe want?
Well, he don't want my potion of invulnerability.
I don't know. To exchange for a wish spell, I don't think we have anything of like great value. It would have to be something sentimental to him.
And it maybe doesn't have to be something that's in your character sheet. We can add it now.
I've got a potion of comprehension. That would. Maybe
What if you wanted like dragon teeth or something? Would we be able to take on a dragon? We would.
Some monster parts might be doable.
I feel like that's something he'd probably
Monster
be
parts?
interested in.
Oh! How about if it was like a spell book that had a sentient nature that was, his personal friend who had been long lost for many a year, and we were transporting it back to him after it had been stolen by bandits one night when he was slumbering.
Yeah, and it was made out of demon skin and written in dragon's blood.
DC
Scratch that last part. I mean, this guy's. I say he's a friend. We're not going after an evil wizard, unless.
Well, magic's not evil. It's all in how you use it. It's just a powerful spell
That's
book.
inherent. The sentient nature of it. That would be like inherently evil, though, Chuck.
Yeah, I don't know if an angel would use a spell book made of demon skin written in dragon's blood.
Exactly. Also, you said demon skin written in dragon's blood. That's like
Would he maybe be looking for a robe or
pretty
something?
edgy, bro.
Well, it's
a
not,
rope?
It's not written on baby skin.
Ooh, a staff.
Yeah, a robe or a staff. Like,
So that an item that you guys wouldn't be able to use that would be powerful could be like a staff of power or staff of lightning and thunder or something like that. Might be doable. All right, what are your thoughts? Monster part or wizard item?
Wizard item.
Wizard item for sure.
Okay, you want to do a staff or a robe?
robe of the Archmage.
Oh, so the sentient book for like some fun role plays is out of the question because someone got too edgy with it. I see how it is.
Yeah, that's
Thanks,
what always
Chalk.
happens.
You ruined
Hey,
everything.
one person ruins it for everyone else. That's what always happens.
Hey, we can make the item sentient. That'll give me something to do too.
That's why I mentioned the sentient book.
Well, there you
you're
go.
right. Yeah, so
Sentient
our
robot.
fellow DM can't play with the characters. He's about to brutally murder.
How about a sentient robe? So isn't there a robe of starry nights or something that's kind of mid-level?
Yeah,
That also his friend wizard had disappeared, and you went to find him, and it turns out he lost his body, and his consciousness is now in that robe. And so whoever is wearing the robe gets to talk to the guy, but you can't use it because you're not a wizard.
and
It's got a
powerful
20
wizard friend is Jim.
charisma and is always talking people into doing things.
I like
Sure.
Can you like not ruin things again, Chuck?
Hey, it'll be me doing the talking, so that's fine. Okay, so we got our item, got our quest. Do we want to discuss any background on you guys getting together? Maybe something quirky that happened that you can kind of role play on and riff off of as our adventure starts.
Well,
Kind of
I mean,
like what we tried to
Goliath,
do
right?
for the when you guys started in prison, kind of setting up that background, something similar to that.
Do we have two Goliaths?
Yeah, I'm a Goliath.
Two
Don't look like a
humans.
Goliath in your character token.
maybe
It's all
my
about
character
perspective.
maybe my character saw these guys getting a bunch of praise and like a party thrown for them for coming back from an adventure, and kind of going up to them and just kind of like, can I join you guys?
Morgrim actually seeing that Cerro was always really silent, he kept poking him, trying to make him have an outburst, and his whole entire goal is to make him like laugh or like show emotion. But he does it very clumsily, and he gets that reaction, so it's not even like, fun. Not fun for Cerro, at least. It's more just like kind of quite literally poking the wolf with a stick. Just like, hey, do stuff.
I'd like to imagine Cerro has plate armor, but also covering his face, so you never get to see his facial expressions.
Very Mandalorian Goblin Slayer type.
He's wearing
Yes.
a COVID mask.
All right, so I think we've got a little bit of a setup. You guys can talk about it in our week we have before we have our actual game. And then that's about all I'm going to give you, because there's going to be some fun stuff that's going to happen upon arriving at your wizard patron's house, and we'll kind of take it from there. So, anything before we wrap up this episode from anybody?
It's gonna be fun.
Not that I can think of.
You sound really excited about it, Aaron. So like, I feel like there's gonna be some really wacky stuff in there. So
I've got my order in to Chuck for a couple maps, so we'll see what he comes up with too. I'm excited to see what he does. So,
Nice.
all right. Well, everybody, thanks for listening. Next time you see us, we'll be playing episode 5. So, see you next time. Thank you.